I think that there are a few reasons that the training was so impactful for me. And I've seen it time and time again. It's always a life-changing experience for people. Partly that's because the training is so strong. The program itself is just incredibly comprehensive and well thought out and well organized. And I'll talk a little more about that later. Part of that is because the staff is really incredible, I have to say, myself included, because we just love what we do so much. The last thing that made the training so transformational for me is that I was ready. And I think this is the most important thing. I was at a point in my life where I was ready for a change. I was ready to really step into the next level for me of being who I truly am. And being in a group that was so supportive of like-minded people, for the first time in my life, I had the permission and support to really live and be in that way. I didn't have to be that way just on my own by myself and then put on a facade when I would go out into the world. I was allowed to be that true, authentic, honest self 24/7. And so the training became a very pivotal moment for me, and I knew that I just wanted to go further and further down that path. That path led me to stay at the studio in Massachusetts for a couple of years, working with Jen and teaching at the local studio and elsewhere in the community before I moved to Spain to live and teach with the founder of Frog Lotus Yoga, Vidya Heisel. Vidya owns the beautiful retreat center, Surya Lila. And so that was my home for a couple of years before I met my husband, and I'm now living on the seashore, which is also wonderful, in Cornwall, in the southwest of England. So as you can see, my journey took a huge kind of route all around the globe, really, across the ocean. And I truly believe that that journey was led by my desire and my willingness to go after what I truly wanted, which was a more authentic, richer experience of myself and of my life. And I know that there are so many of us who are really seeking a way to be more fully alive and fully ourselves in the moment, in our own bodies, in our own lives. And I know for me, the training gave me a way to do that. And that stuck with me ever since. And that's the gift that I love to give back every time I do a training. Every training, on the first day of the training, after morning practice and meditation and breakfast, we all sit around in a big circle and we introduce ourselves, of course. And hearing one by one people's stories of what led them to come on the journey of the teacher training, it always takes me back to that time in my own life and to that feeling of desiring to experience more of my true self. And of course, yoga says the true self is indescribable bliss and peace and freedom. And of course, we all want to experience as much of that as possible. And I believe that there's a part of all of us that knows how possible that is. Allowing myself to be led by that seed of desire of what I knew was possible was what led my life to blossom in ways that I never could have imagined. And so when we sit around in the circle, I see those seeds of desire in every student. That seed of wanting to peel back the layers of persona and identity and experience more of the truth of who we all really are. And however that shows up in terms of, for me, it was a whole new life, career path, moving to different countries, and maybe that will be for you as well. But it doesn't have to be that. There are, many students have come who are already very happily in a career, very happily with their family, but always there's a sense of being ready, of being willing to take the next step and commit to oneself, that feeling of, I'm ready to live more fully.